Over 1,400 kilometers, under the heat, through the rain, tired bodies, sore backs. This isn't just a ride.
Rain or shine!
This is the Philippine North Loop. Day 1. We left Marikina early. First stop, Malabon, at MIBCM with Pastor John Pallier. After a short visit and some quick fellowship, we hit the road again, headed straight for Cabanatuan, Nueva Ecija. That night, we stayed at Cabanatuan Bible Baptist Temple, hosted by Pastor Dan Gonzalez, resting up before the real ride began the next day.
Day 2, we started early from Cabanatuan. Our first stop was in Talavera at Bible-believing Baptist Church with Pastor Edwin Onquico and their church family. They served us breakfast and gave us that extra boost we needed for the day. From there, we hit the long roads. Through the rice fields of Nueva Ecija, up the winding climbs of Nueva Vizcaya, and into the wide-open stretches of Isabela. By afternoon, we arrived at Alicia Bible Baptist Temple, where Pastor Bong Tomas welcomed us. We took a short rest, rehydrated, stretched out a bit. But we weren't done yet. Before calling it a day, we rode out again to San Guillermo to visit some of our relatives. That short side trip, though tiring, was worth every kilometer. Family, stories, laughter, even for just a little while. As the sun started to set, we rode back to Alicia, finally parked the bikes for the night. Tired, sunburnt, but thankful. That was day 2, and tomorrow, the journey continues. Day 3. We knew from the start this was going to be one of the longest and hardest rides of the loop. Legs already sore from the past days, but minds ready for what's ahead. The early part of the day felt like a race against the sun. We climbed mountains, tackled twisty roads in Currimao, and pushed through the scorching heat in Cagayan. By mid-morning, we entered Tuguegarao city, and as expected, the sun was relentless. No shade, no mercy from the heat, just pure sun bouncing off the asphalt. But the boys kept pushing, throttle after throttle, because turning back, not an option. After a short water break, we pushed on towards the north, chasing long straights, crossing endless bridges, till we reached Pagudpud. But Pagudpud had its own story for us. What was supposed to be a quick pass turned into an unexpected stop. Stranded for a while, some bike issues, some rider fatigue, and for a few minutes, we all just stood there, trying to figure out if the heat or the waiting was worse. But like always, after every delay, we got back on the road. As we entered Ilocos Norte, the skies suddenly flipped on us, from blazing sun to heavy clouds. And before we knew it, Ilocos rain poured hard. Windshield visors fogged, rider gloves soaked, and wet roads tested every corner we leaned into. But even with rain beating down, we pushed through, one by one, kilometer after kilometer, until finally we rolled into Batac, tired, dripping, sunburnt, and rain-soaked, but alive and thankful. Our stop for the night, Berean Bible Baptist Church, with Pastor James Passion waiting for us. That night, as we hung up our wet jackets and wiped down our helmets, we looked at each other and laughed. Because day 3 was a war. But like every rider's story, we fought and we finished it. Day 4. Another day of chasing kilometers and challenging every muscle left in our bodies. We left Batac, Ilocos Norte, bikes fired up, rain gear packed, hoping for a smooth ride. But deep inside, we knew nothing about this North Loop was going to be easy. From Batac, we passed through Laoag, Pasuquin, Bacarra, then on to Currimao, Cabugao, and Vigan. Town after town, the roads stretched wide, views of the coastline on our left, and wide open Ilocos plains to the right. Our first major stop, Narvacan Bible Baptist Church, where Pastor Oscar Vasquez and the church family welcomed us with open arms. Quick fellowship, a little recharge, and of course, some good laughs with fellow believers.
Sa wakas, makunan din ako.
But after Narvacan, the real challenge of the day began. We pushed south, passing Candon, and started our climb into the Cervantes Carino Basal Road. A route known among riders for one thing: steep, dangerous, and absolutely unforgiving. Switchbacks after switchbacks, hairpin turns so sharp you could almost see your taillight as you leaned in. Steep climbs that forced us to drop gears low. Throttle, clutch, brakes, all working overtime. And with every blind corner, that small fear creeping in, wondering what's coming next. And just when we thought the challenge was enough, the weather joined the fight. Rain for 3 hours straight. Not just drizzle, but full, heavy, non-stop downpour. Visors fogged, gloves soaked, roads turning slick and muddy, and visibility dropping to almost nothing in some parts. Every rider fought through the rain, carefully taking each curve, slowing down on steep descents, feet down on muddy sections, and at some point, it stopped being about speed. It became about survival and making sure every brother in the group made it through. By the time we reached the borders of Sagada, we were cold, soaked, and completely drained. But the sight of the Sagada Mountains and the thought of dry clothes and warm food was enough to put smiles back on tired faces. Day 4 wasn't just a ride, it was survival mode. Day 5. The final day of our North Loop journey. We woke up in Iona Homestay, right in the heart of Sagada. Cold air, mountain fog, and tired muscles still recovering from yesterday's battle with rain and mountain roads. We gathered for breakfast, hot coffee, warm food, and smiles despite the exhaustion. Before leaving, we paused, prayed together, asking God for strength and safety, for one last ride home. Before hitting the road, we stopped by the Sagada Tourism Center, registered as visitors, and took the chance to explore one of Sagada's most iconic spots, the Hanging Coffins, an unforgettable reminder of their deep love for tradition and how their culture continues to live on, even in the cliffs that surround them.
So we are in the Cordillera. That's the region. Ang Cordillera ay merong 10 provinces. So isa na po ang Mountain Province, which is nandito tayo ngayon. The Benguet, which is Baguio. And then we have Banawe, Ifugao, I should say. Tapos may Kalinga, may Apayao. 10 po yan. Ang Mountain Province po ay may 10 munisipyo din. So, isa po ang Sagada sa Mountain Province.
By late morning, we fired up the bikes again, riding out of Sagada, weaving through the familiar mountain curves, descending into Batac, then rolling through Bayo, Banawe, and Hungduan. Our next stopover, a place that left us speechless, the Banawe Rice Terraces, a sight so grand, so overwhelming, we had to park the bikes just to take it all in. Centuries of hard work carved into the mountains. It made us feel small, but grateful to witness it in person. After Banawe, we pushed on through Ifugao, then entered Nueva Vizcaya. And like a familiar scene from the past days, the rain found us again, pouring hard as we crossed town after town. By late afternoon, we reached Solano and stopped at Solano Bible Baptist Temple, where Pastor Aries Corpus and the church family welcomed us with food, a place to sit, rest, and recharge for the final stretch. Night came quickly, and with it, the most dangerous part of the day. Crossing Santa Fe, with its blind curves, steep drops, and the constant threat of fast trucks and buses coming from the opposite lane. The cold, the fog, and the wet roads made every turn feel like a fight between focus and fatigue. Finally, we rolled into Talavera, the same place where many of us had crossed paths before the loop even started. And now, the place where we would part ways. This time, not as individual riders, but as brothers who survived, conquered, and shared something we'll carry for life. Five days on the road, hundreds of kilometers behind us, heat, rain, danger, and exhaustion. But through it all, God's hand was on us. More than just a ride, this was a testimony of His protection, His grace, and His goodness. We didn't just finish a North Loop, we finished a journey as brothers, as servants, and as Baptists. Riding, living, and pressing on for His glory and by His grace.